Hello, everybody.
All right, Mr. Watts, you have Bramlett and Sullivan.
Bramlett is me, Your Honor. That's why I'm here.
Oh, well, who do you have, Mr. Watts?
She's at court security right now.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Or not Christie, Cinderella Heights. What did it say?
Sullivan is a motion for judgment on bond. Okay. All right, let's go on the record in State of Kansas versus William Dale Bramlett, 2023 CR 000459. The state appears by and through Ms. Norris. Mr. Bramlett is.
Your Honor, I don't believe he appears. This is a motion for judgment on bond.
Oh, on Bramlett?
Correct.
The bondsman is here, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't think the defense attorneys ever need to appear for these.
I didn't think so. Yeah, okay. I didn't think so, but I got an email saying that he was on, so I got on.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Have a good weekend, everybody.
You too. So this is John Roberts. What's your name?
Markey.
Are you Mr. Duncan? Doug Markey?
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Bramlett failed to appear back in February of this year, and he was on a $10,000 bond, and I issued a no bond hold if we could find him. And then of course they just, as a matter of course, do a motion for judgment, which I usually grant unless you have a lead on him.
Yes, ma'am. In March, I found him down in Texas, in jail in Tarrant County. And this was on March 26th. And then on March 27th, I brought in a sheet of paper and for the court to sign off on the bond because he was in custody. And
okay, hold on. Okay, I've interpreted the statute to require that they be in the jurisdiction or at least in the state of Kansas. Otherwise, we have to extradite. So it doesn't relieve you of your obligation on the bond just automatically as an operation of law because they've been secured in another state. Miss Norris, did you get notice so that you could put a hold on him? Is this a case in which you could have extradited or you are extraditing Mr. Bramlett?
Your Honor, I'm just looking at some notes. It looks like that our sheriff's department is aware. Let's see. The sheriff's department is aware that he is in custody in Texas, and it's my understanding that they did put a hold on him in mid-June.
Okay.
Based on some emails that are in the file.
Mr. Markey?
yes,
do you know if he's got new charges in Texas?
No, ma'am. I do not know.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have to extradite him. What I'm going to do is just set this over until probably December to see if they've contacted us to either he'll waive extradition, we'll go get him, and maybe I'll see what the cost is to go get him and decrease your judgment just by that amount and waive the rest. Or I'll waive it all. I'm not sure, but let's see if we get him back to our court in our jurisdiction. You know, had you had a bounty hunter that just brought him back to Kansas, we'd already have him here. And I'm not suggesting that you are in a position to be able to do that comfortably, but Now we're gonna have to go through the governors of the state of Texas and of the state of Kansas to get him back if he doesn't waive to come back. So,
Okay, I'd be happy to go get him.
well, why don't you contact Sheriff Huey and see what he thinks about that. He may deputize you and let you go do that. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a new court date, though. I'm not going to grant judgment today. Okay, we're going to set this over and see where Mr. Bramlett ends up. Bramlett, who I don't know what he's been picked up on, that he's still in Texas custody, but if you find out anything sooner, let me know, someone. Otherwise, I'm gonna check the status of this case on December 20th at 2:30. So you won't have a judgment against you this year, and you may not have one at all. Okay, I am trying to work with you. I will work with you.
That's awesome, Judge, and
Okay.
I'd like to work with the court. What jail is he in? Is he still in
Can you tell
Tarrant
that?
County?
Your Honor, I don't know if he's still in that facility or not. My guess would be yes. Based on the emails I got from the sheriff's office, but she doesn't specifically say. She just says, that they got a hold on him, and we had basically provided the information. I think, Amy had forwarded it to myself and Mr. Favre about basically what the bondsman had said about Tarrant County. So I would assume that's probably where he still is, but I don't know that for certain.
Okay. Again, that's probably a starting point, but check with the sheriff because they'll be able to easily track him down if he's still in custody.
Yes, ma'am.
And if he was in custody and you notified us and we lost him, that's not necessarily your fault either. So, but just bear with us and let's see if we can't make some progress with him, or at least get a little better update. Like I said, if you've got information that you want to present to me before December the 20th, just let us know. I can move the date up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Watts, I do have one more judgment on bond, if you don't mind. And that is Danielle Sullivan, 2020 CR 525. State appears by Miss Norris. She was just on $1,000 bond, failed to appear, so a motion for judgment was filed, and I reset her bond. I didn't hold her without bond to $3,000, and that was back in January of this year, January 26th. Mr. Duncan, are you the bonding agent with Second Chance Bell Bonds?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am.
Okay. You have a lead on Miss Sullivan?
We do, and I'm here asking for just 30 days should be sufficient enough for us to bring her into custody at this point. We're pretty close, so.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to grant you a continuance 30 days. My interest is getting the people back in front of the court more so than taking your money.
Thank you.
How about September the 27th at 2:30?
That works.
Okay. Now, if you've got her in custody, especially in our jail, but if you've got her in custody in the state of Kansas by then, and you want to send me an order for discharge, we probably would cancel this hearing and I'd release you from the bond.
Okay.
If you got any new information, let me know. Maybe a $3,000 surety was not a good idea, but these are misdemeanors, I think was my It was originally a felony drug case that turned into a misdemeanor, but at any rate, hopefully you can get her back in front of us so we can figure out what's going on. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Get to feeling better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, Ms. Heiss. All right, I'm glad you found transportation because you have a couple cases and the last thing you want to do is not appear for them.
Absolutely.
The case that you have with me is 22 CR 430. Mr. Watts is here appearing as well as Ms. Norris. I sentenced you back in January, ordering some restitution and asking that you complete Senate bill treatment and a request for revocation was issued in July, alleging that you failed to report to your Sedgwick County ISO on February 7th, March 18th, March 27th, April 8th, April 29th, May 6th, and May 14th. And you had positive urine samples for marijuana in January, a higher, if you can quantify those tests, higher count the next time. And by April, your count was apparently going down. These were all positive tests for marijuana and you weren't attending treatment. Mr. Watts?
Your Honor, as to the warrant to show cause, I spoke with my client. She would acknowledge she failed to report to her ISO as directed on the dates as outlined in the warrant to show cause. She would also acknowledge she tested positive for the urine samples. I will tell the court, my client tells me that what she was actually using was not marijuana per se, but Delta 8, which can be bought legally, or at least can be bought over the counter. As I told my client, it's somewhat a gray area whether it is legal, but I've also informed my client that for purposes of probation, it's marijuana and you can't use it. Whatever the legalities might be for in other circumstances. And finally, she acknowledged that she failed to attend her substance abuse treatment. She tells me she is just out of an inpatient treatment at this point as of a few days ago. But as of the time this motion was filed, that she had not completed and failed to attend a substance abuse treatment. She would stipulate to those violations and waive hearing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know this or not, but she got picked up on new charges for possession of methamphetamine and paraphernalia.
I do, Your Honor. I have that case in front of me. It sounds like we're going to take it up as a first appearance.
Well, I don't know. It's Judge Hart's case.
Oh,
I don't know that.
Your Honor, she's had a first appearance.
Yeah.
That was on July 3rd, and it's actually set with this court on August 29th at 2:30.
are we talking about 24 CR 309?
Yes.
Yeah, it's set today for, I don't know, Judge
Got
Sanders.
set today, but I'm not sure why.
It's my file shows August 29th.
Well, I think that was a typo because today's August 9th.
I believe Judge Sanders said it with you, Judge, because you had her other case.
Right.
With the same judge is what he did.
I understand why he did it. And I imagine Judge Hart's PHC's clear out to October and he didn't want to not have this case doing something for that long.
It is on the first appearance list. It's October 15th.
Yeah. Well, all right. So, Ms. Norris, what is your recommendation? Sticking with my case, what's your recommendation?
Your Honor, today I'll be requesting that the defendant do a 2-day dip. And let's see, she was placed on probation in October for up to 18 months. So I don't think she needs an extension at this point, but I do believe a 2-day dip and then back on and complete all of her probation conditions. And that Your Honor will need to address additional attorney's fees and bids application fee.
Mr. Watts, anything you want to add?
Frankly, Judge, we join the state's recommendations of a 2-day dip at this point.
Okay. Anything that you want to say, Ms. Heiss?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Honestly, I'm going to order a 3-day sanction on you, the maximum I can do. And I hope that you get this figured out between your inpatient, your 3 days, and being reinstated, because this case, if you're convicted on it, could be a basis to revoke you and run consecutive time to put you in the women's correctional facility for 2 or 3 years. And so it's not just that the whatever it was, marijuana or whatever, Delta, whatever, it's the methamphetamine now is the concern. And if you can't do treatment and you can't stay sober, you go to prison. It's just that simple. And I'm trying to look here to see what your controlling term. You probably have around 14 months. So you've got a lot at stake now. Now you got bigger problems besides even just this revocation where you're entitled to a small jail sanction. Now you got a new case that you may go to trial on or end up getting sentenced on. And now you are on probation with a new charge. So the best thing you can do, get yourself in treatment and stay in a treatment program and stay sober and work your program. Okay?
I really did love, I'm sorry. I really did love Bel Air Recovery Center. I think it did a lot for me. I'm also attending their intensive outpatient. So
who's your ISO?
Michelle was my ISO through Sedgwick County. I currently also am keeping in contact with an ISO through Harvey County.
Okay. That's who you need to convince that you're doing well. Okay. And your actions speak louder than even your words. Okay. But I'm glad that you're starting to get some benefit from the services that you're getting. Jim, do you just want to, I'm going to let you decide. Do you want to keep this case with me or it's assigned to Judge Hart and just bump it over to his next PHC docket?
Frankly, Your Honor, I think it makes a lot of sense to keep cases with a single judge when possible.
Okay. Well, normally he doesn't mind if I take his cases for him. So, but I think I'm going to give you time to look at discovery and talk to her about it. We could set it directly for preliminary hearing, but it's probably better that we put it on a PHC docket, which would be September 23rd or October 21st. September 23rd at 2:30 or October 21st at 2:30.
Well, Your Honor, at this point, what I have is an affidavit and nothing else. So given that reality, I think I'd just soon set it to a docket. If I'd had the rest of it, I'd say just go ahead and set it for prelim, but I do not.
Okay. All right. On the record in 24 CR 309, the state appears by and through Ms. Norris. Ms. Heiss thankfully appeared. And Mr. Watts is present. He's appointed on this case as well. And we've set it for PHC in front of me on October 21, 24 at 2:30. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. They're going to take you into custody. They will release you after 72 hours. And $100 bids. That's what I want to do. Be added. Please. Thank you. All right. Is that it for today?
That's what I have, Your Honor, unless there's more fun we should have.
No, I don't think so.
Your Honor, I'm out of files.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Be safe Be well, sleep sweet, and much love.